everyone who sponsored, everyone who volunteered to help out, the panelists that are going to speak. What I'd like to do now is we'll get into more details about everything else. As soon as this video is over, we will announce the winners because I see we are still adding more people on. So we watched a video before we just started. We did a little condensed version of it with just some of the challenges that we're going to show now. So it's a fun video that shows some of the fun stuff people have been doing all week. So Denise, if you can play that shorter video now, and then when we come back, it's about 4 minutes long. When we come back, we will then announce the winners and give some more information. So back to you, Denise, to show that video.
Welcome to the Amazing Race Recovery. Have a good time. The race is starting. Yay. Once was people that helped in recovery, and the name was Cemetery. You screwed it up. Bring us sugar and tea and fun. One day recovery, take our time. We are driven to recovery. We're sure to get there. With the help of second chances, there is no time for fear. Can't you see the hope growing? Rise up to recovery. Can't you see support flowing? Rise to recovery. Apple. I'm an apple mood. Apple pie. Apple pie. Apple pie? Yeah. Good. Bicycle. Finally. Oh, skateboard. Fire. Skateboard. Bicycle. Okay. Motorcycle.
hope everyone enjoyed that. I thought it was very funny. I just want to point out the teams that did make up a song about recovery. I thought it was awesome. They all had to wear a hat, stand on a chair, do a push-up. That's why they were doing some crazy stuff in there. But I thought it was great. Thank you. I'm now going to share my screen and announce the winners of the amazing race. So first place, congratulations to the Goss Gang. Their team or variation of it won 2 years ago. So definitely a very competitive team out there. Mahar Mayhem, which has 3 of my kids on it. So I was very proud of them. They I spent 3 hours watching them on Zoom yesterday, having a blast doing a lot of different challenges. So I know they definitely had a good time. And third place, Secure Scan. Yay. Close place, fourth place, Dolls and Gents. Great try on there. Everyone did awesome. I hope everyone had as much fun as I hope they had. This will also be shared on our Facebook page as well. And I'm going to turn it over to Michelle to talk about the prizes.
Congratulations to our winners. We're super excited to have some great prizes to hand out this year. So all of the winning teams, the top 3 teams, will be receiving bowling passes for each person on the team. And then the first place team will also be getting drink cards to Daily Grind. So each member of that team will get 5 drinks at Daily Grind, and then, which is a local coffee shop if you're not familiar. And then they'll have their choice of movie passes, Madison Theater passes, which actually are for vouchers for food, and then an ice cream pass, which has $20. So each member of your team can have that. We're going to be emailing the winning teams after this because the first place team will actually get to pick out of those movie passes, the Madison Theater vouchers, and the ice cream passes. And then from there, the second place team will pick, and then the third place team will get whatever's left. But congratulations, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. It was really, really fun to score your stuff. It's so funny. I can't wait to share more with you throughout the week.
Thank you. So I want to just give a breakdown and a total of how much money we actually raised. So the first year in 2019, of course, we were in person at Crossgates Mall. We raised $10,800, which I thought was awesome. Last year, we were again at Crossgates and we raised $15,750. This year, I would have liked to raise that plus more, but you know, we did it virtual and I'm thrilled that as of the moment, and it's probably a little bit higher because I did know people are still bidding. Well, the auction closed at 2 o'clock, so I don't have the last minute tallies because I was getting ready for this. But with the auction and everything thrown in there, my last tally showed $13,596. So we're probably about $14,000, which I am thrilled with. Yay. We raised $5,000 from our sponsors. So I am very grateful for the sponsors that participated. So I just want to give a quick shout out. We had $2,000 motivating angel sponsors. So we had Sunmark and NICID. And then we had six $500 encouraging angels. So we had Teal Becker and Chiamonte, Adirondack Electronics, Grassland, Alliance for Better Health, Amshore, and we had staff Campino and Company. And then we had some $150 and $250 sponsors. We had Fadigan's Nurseries, Loudonville Presbyterian Church, Lavelle and Finn, Northwestern Mutual, and ABD Engineers. So a great thank you to our 13 sponsors. We raised in the auction, it was somewhere around $1,400, which thank you to Kaylin. We're at $1,493. So almost $1,493 is what we raised there. So I know Kelly's daughter Kaylin did a lot of work for that. So nicely done. I think that was a really fun event. We had some great prizes there. So that was, I thought, very successful. We had 23 teams participate, which was 93 participants. So thank you for all of the 93 participants that participated. We raised $3,090 between the participant, the $20 per person fees, and the people that were sponsored, that were in recovery, that were able to participate. And then the fundraiser challenge. So that was Event Group fundraiser, where people asked their friends and family to help out with the fundraiser to help support Second Chances Community Center. They raised $4,095. So that was awesome. So thank you. Total in the 3 years, we've raised over $40,000. So I'm very proud of that. So I hope we continue, and hopefully next year I'm hoping we can go back to Crossgates, and we may do a hybrid version because it was nice. Some people from out of the local area were able to participate in it, which was good. So we'll have to see what we end up doing for next year. But we will be sending out a survey to ask people what they thought of that. I think that was it. Michelle's going to talk about logistics with the auction.
If you ended up winning an auction item, the site that we use to do it will automatically notify you that you won, and that ended at 2 o'clock. So you should have received your notifications. If not, they'll be coming. If you did win an item, we're asking that you pick it up at Second Chance Opportunities. And all of those details are right inside of the email that you're going to receive. We're asking that you call and set up a time or a window at the very least, so we're ready for you. So we're not too overwhelmed by, serving our folks and then having people pick stuff up. That phone number is available on there. If you have any questions, you can still just email one of us like you have been all along throughout the event. And congratulations to the winners on that. I know that there was some serious competition at the end of this, so I get a notification every time. My phone has been going crazy. But that's great. You guys did awesome. We're really, really glad that you enjoyed our baskets. And like Sue already said, Kaylin is amazing and put these baskets together, and we can't wait for you guys to utilize them. Let us know what you think. You can always go on our Facebook page and give us a little feedback. Let us know what you enjoyed most. And that's all I really have for that.
Do you want to talk about a possible Facebook group we might be having?
Oh yeah. So we are going to be starting a Facebook group for the Amazing Race to Recovery. What we're going to do is we have so many amazing things that came from this because it's all digital, and there's so many funny things. We can tell through the videos and through the pictures that were shared how much everybody enjoyed this. So we're going to post weekly an update, and you're welcome to share that with your friends, or you're welcome to try the challenge again, or encourage your family and friends to take part at home. We're going to try to keep the momentum going from this amazing race and hopefully get people interested for next year. So you can look for that. That's going to be a new group headed your way soon. That information is actually going to come to you from the survey that you're going to take. Sue's going to tell you more about the survey. But at the close of the survey, there'll be a link to get you hooked up with our new Facebook group for the Amazing Race, so you get some information for next year.
So I'll be sending out a survey this week to all the participants, to all the volunteers, finding out what you like, didn't like. So if we do a virtual version again, next year we can fine tune a little bit more. Big shout out to Kira Pogi for helping with all the technical stuff. She helped put that video together. Denise helped a lot with the Zoom webinars and some technical stuff. Michelle, you were awesome. You knew your technology. You were very organized. It was great. So the survey, we ask that you do send that back. That feedback is helpful for us to figure out what we want to do as we move forward for next year. I think that was it. We do have, the chat and question and answer if people do have any additional questions there, but that was all I had. If you want to get going with the panel.
So we have some amazing panelists ready, but before we get to that, Sue, I just want to thank you. I know Kelly's going to reiterate this again and again, but we are so grateful for you. This was amazing. It was beyond what we could have ever expected it to become. And I'm so lucky to have the opportunity to work with you on this project. You should be so proud. It is a labor of love, and we are lucky to have you. Without further ado, we have Rob Kent, a friend of recovery, here to help us kick off our recovery panel. And Stephanie Campbell, the director of New York State Behavioral Health Ombudsman Office, and Kelly Rowe, which is the executive director at Second Chance Opportunities. and a person in recovery and one of our very own recovery coaches at Second Chance Opportunities, Rudy Fernandez. We do have a question and answer portion of this open. So if you have a question for any of the panelists, if you want to type it in at the end, we'll review those. So just, wait, but feel free to ask whatever comes up, and I'll pass it over to Kelly to kick us off.
Mute. I have to find the unmute button, which is sometimes really extraordinarily difficult for me. First, let me start by saying Sumahar and the Colony Rotary Club, I mean, you guys are just absolutely astounding. This is your brainchild, and I can't believe we've raised $40,000 in 3 years. I mean, there's not enough words. Thank you so much. Not only for the Rotary participants, but also I know half your family has become involved in this, and I'm just so grateful to you and all of the volunteers that you bring and all of the work. I thought it was a phenomenal event. We heard about it in the office. All of our staff were participating. So there was a lot of healthy competition throughout the week here in the office. I continually got outbid on the auction. Thank you very much. But just what a great event. I'm just really super grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. Since we missed our Christmas party, I'm going to kind of kick this off with just sort of an update from what we were able to accomplish in 2020, even though it was such a terrible year in so many ways. We did have some successes. We still held 9 Friends of Recovery Albany County meetings. We helped 68 people get into treatment for recovery substance use disorder. From January 2020, we started the year with 85 employees. We ended the year with 92 employees. We had tremendous growth in our recovery housing. We went from 23 sober beds to 53 sober beds. So we just about doubled our recovery housing, which is so important when people come out of treatment and they don't have any place to go, they don't have a job. We create a bedroom for them. There's no time limit on the length of stay, which is why I was talking about sheets in my TV interview. Everything, we set up the bedroom, they get a bed, end table, dresser, and then we supply sheets and towels and toiletries and anything anybody needs coming in. And this is what the funding goes for. It goes for all of those intangible things that mean so much to somebody, just finding a safe place to go and to live and to land and to be amongst their peers. We have 13 buildings on one block, and currently 10 of them are filled with people in recovery. So in the morning when people are outside on their porches having coffee, they can see their neighbors, and they're also people in recovery. So it's really awesome. And we hope to continue to expand that going out through this year. We were able to facilitate 181 in-person activities. We had 288 individuals engaged with Second Chance Opportunities. And then we had 2,500 different coaching sessions, which is just amazing. Our recovery coaches just worked their tails off this year. It was extraordinarily difficult. We worked from home for about 3 months, and our staff was on the phone with people, checking in on a daily basis. And we got a lot of people through it. Hopefully we're going to continue to help get people through it. I'm really looking forward to Recovery in the Park in September, and I'm praying to everything I hold, holy, that we're going to be able to have it in person and in the park. On a personal note, this year, COVID has just been really, really tough. I found 30 pounds that I didn't want to. Thank you very much. I have a little depression. you know, I'm doing everything I can for my own mental health and for my family's mental health and for our staff's mental health. And we'll just keep plugging along. I guess that's it for me. I'd love to turn it over to Stephanie. Is that what I should do? Should I introduce the next speaker?
We have one question for you before you
Oh,
turn it
sure.
over.
Okay, please.
The question is, do we currently have any male or female open beds?
We do. We do. I think we have 2 male beds, and I think we have 3 female beds. And if you're interested in the housing, if you call the office number on Monday, we'll set you up for what we call an intake. You'll meet with a recovery coach and we'll find out where you're at and where you'd like to go. And we'll get you in to have a conversation.
Perfect. Go ahead, Steph. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, thank you. What an amazing event, and what a testament to the power and promise of recovery. So hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie Campbell, and I'm a person in sustained recovery. And what that means for me is in 1989, someone picked me up out of the gutter and gave me hope and brought me to my first recovery-oriented support, which was a mutual aid meeting. I have to say that, this is also a personal event for me in that I've been honored and privileged to work with Second Chance Opportunities. The staff, I know Michelle and I were blessed to work together at Friends of Recovery, New York, and then I met Kelly and Rudy and so many folks that are involved on this in this amazing recovery community organization that are literally saving lives. And and I also, as in the role, so there's who I am and then what I do, right? So who I am is much more important than what I do. But in the what I do part of my day, I'm honored to work with amazing advocates like Kelly and Brian and Rudy and so many other folks to help folks get access to care. And I think it was August of 2018, my brother in arms, who's also on the panel, invited me to leave the work that I was, to apply for a position that would have, that let me leave the work that I was doing at For New York and come to to Oasis and help folks get access to treatment in a whole new way. And so it's an amazing experience, along the full continuum. We know that during COVID, the peers, it's the therapeutic value of one person with lived experience reaching out and helping another, which is really saving lives. And, what's happening in community on the ground, you folks are the ones that are keeping people connected. I often say that, as a family member, to my loved one who struggles, and, I say to her, I just want to hold on to the string of your helium balloon, and I want to do that with love and support. And that's what I believe peers are doing. We don't drive the bus. We don't tell people what they have to do. We don't come with our agenda. We come with hope, and we come with the power and promise that, that we can and do get better. And that comes through, that person-to-person contact. I think now more than ever during COVID, where so many barriers have been, erected, and, nobody, through no one's, fault, but because, some of the issues that we've seen have been exacerbated in terms of the stigma and discrimination around our community, that it is the peers that are literally picking people up and carrying them to safety. And I know that there've been a number of cases that I've been contacted by, and I've picked up the phone on weekends and after hours. And Kelly's been there, and Rudy's been there, and so I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. You know, you are my heroes, and I just want to you know, encourage folks to stay involved. You know, COVID is not over yet, and the direct connection between, you know, the mental health and substance use issues that have ballooned during COVID have not gone away and will not go away. And it is only through the love and support and non-judgmental lived experience that so many of you provide folks that hope and healing can happen. So thank you.
I'm actually going to have Rudy share a little bit about his story and his experience as a coach, and then we're going to tune in and talk to Rob. We're saving the best for last.
Am I unmuted? Okay. So my name is Rudy Fernandez. I'm a person in sustained recovery. And what that means to me, I haven't had a substance or drink since March 23rd, 2014, which means that we are going on 7 years if we stay alive in the next few weeks. You know, as a result of that, I'm a family member. I am a husband. You know, I pay taxes. You know, like I said, I'm a recovery coach and a peer advocate now too. I have 2 dogs, 5 cats. I got a horse in the way, a few donkeys. I don't know. I love my job. I love working for Second Chance Opportunity. I love this event. But this year has been very hard for me. You know, so considering the fact that it's very hard for me, I know it's very hard for the individuals that I work with on a daily basis. You know, I think the most important and most grateful thing for me that has happened this year, that I have an amazing team to back me up, you know, and I really want to say that, you know, if it wasn't for my team, you know, I don't think I'd be able to perform my job or have the support, give that energy that I give to the individual that I work with. And when I mean my team, I want to say my team, like those people that I work with, like, you know, Dan Wellen, Kristen Logan, Kim Muller, you know, Chris Carner, you know, Brian sometimes, but like Dylan Greeno, Dylan Rowe, you know, these are people that play part in my life. And I'm not talking about like the executive, like Kelly Rowe, them. Everybody knows about Kelly and Brian, right? But like these people, right? If I don't think that I'm able to help people out if I don't have a team that back me up, because I also need that. You know, COVID has been very hard for me, you know. Before me coming into recovery, one of my things was not through substance use as well. I had a lot of mental health. So me not being around people, I'm a person that I like to get that hug. I like to be in a crowd. I feed off that energy of people, and now being in contact as many people makes my recovery very hard if I don't have a support behind me. So if that is happening with me, I could just imagine the individuals that are struggling and is very early in recovery, how hard it is for them. You know, however, you know, we are still here. The door is open, you know. It is a blessing to be where I'm at today. It is a blessing to participate in this. I have to be frank, honest. I really, you know, I had to push myself through this because I'm not a Zoom person. I'm not, you know, I do it because I know people want to do it, but me personally, I have to get pushed, you know. I don't even know how many times Michelle was texting, they just sign up. And it's not because I don't look, listen, since this is our 3rd year, right? And like the first 2 years, I was super stoked just for this event. I love this event, man. And even this, it was fun once I got engaged with it. Um, but people are suffering, the individuals that are still engaged in active addiction does not stop, and does not, what I mean? There's no time, there's no day for any of that, and with the situation that we are involved in right now, where like no regular meetings except for a few of them, it makes it really hard, for them out there. So I just want to say that, for those that have supported this event, thank you so much. If you don't know what it means, just look at me. I'm an example of those individuals that you're helping. This is just individual that was activated at one time and now has changed his life. But I'm the same person that was in the hospital a few years ago. Thank you.
Thanks, Rudy. We're really lucky to have you on our team. Just a little tidbit about what's going on at Second Chance Opportunities. As far as people being distanced, we are going to be reopening our activities in groups to the public in person as of March 1st. Because of COVID, we're going to have people sign up, but we're listening and we're hearing the public and our community constantly talking about this need to be together. And it was necessary for health reasons with COVID for us to stop, but we're really looking forward to having our doors open and getting everybody back in there. So if you're interested, you can check our website or talk to one of the coaches, whatever contact you have, our Facebook page. You don't have to be engaged in SEO in any other capacity to come to these. Whatever works for you, we'll meet you wherever you are in your recovery journey. Just feel free to engage, and we're there. Kelly, I'll let you introduce Rob to the attendees.
There we go. I did it twice. I feel really accomplished. Before I introduce Rob, I want to just give a shout out. We have 87 people who have been showing up to work on our janitorial contracts every single day without one positive case of COVID. And I'm so proud of them. And whenever the public talks about essential workers, nobody's talking about the cleaning crew. And they are amazing. They are unselfish. They've been there every step of the way. And if any of you are online, thank you, thank you, thank you. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Rob Kent. And before I officially introduce you, I want to thank you. It's not my intention to get emotional, but I'm going to get emotional. I feel like you gave me, people in recovery, legitimacy, that you not only invited us to the table, you demanded that our voices were heard. And I so appreciate you. You have changed the way we save people. Every day, I'm speechless. I don't even know how to say it. I'm so grateful to know you. I'm so proud of you. I know you're just going to change our lives even further on a national level. So, Rob Kent, thank you very much.
Thank you. Didn't need that, by the way, because I don't want to get emotional. Cool thing is with Zoom though, Rudy, you can turn the camera off. So thanks for having me. So I don't know if people know, well, I assume most people know, I don't. So I was at Oasis for almost 13 years. I guess I had to leave before 13 because it's an unlucky number. But so I left a few months early, went and did some other stuff. I think on some level it, to what everyone else is saying, that sort of helped my mental health on some level for reasons I won't get into. But and I had every intention of moving to St. Louis for my new company, and then COVID hit. And so I've been working remotely from home in Albany since then. We all know what happened on Election Day and all the fun stuff that happened up to the new president actually being placed into office. So they reached out. It was actually Christmas Eve. I got the email from the Biden-Harris transition team. And after a pretty whirlwind 2-month period, I started on Tuesday, again, remotely. I'm still in Albany, but I'm now the general counsel to the White House Office on National Drug Control Policy. So I kept asking them all throughout. I said, you do know about me, right? You've read about me, and so you know what you're getting if you're asking me to come. So, because I'm not, it's pretty cool. My office, I'm told, is near the White House. I can see it. I said, well, that's absolutely not why I'm not going to sit in the office to look across the lawn. So, but it's just an enormous opportunity. I'm like beyond humble. You know, I'm going to work for somebody who, you know, I think, well, first off, he's a family member. He understands what it means to have addiction in his family. And he cares about people. So, and I'm joining a team of people. So I say this positively for their behalf, that think like me and are like me. So I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to be able to do some stuff at the national level that we made happen in New York State, particularly as it relates to recovery. And I've been talking a lot to the folks, you know, at the federal government as I've come in about how I get, well, first off, you see that the president's doing everything he possibly can do to make sure people can get back together again in person. But we're not there, but every effort's being made to get there. It's getting better. Because I'm with all of you. I hate Zoom. I hate being remote. I hate not being around people. Stephanie and I used to put like 50 to 100,000 miles a year on the Oasis car going all over the state because I like being around and seeing what's happening. We're not there yet. I can't wait till we are. But I'm proud of a lot of stuff that I worked on at Oasis. Probably like one of the things I'm most proud of is how we created this infrastructure for recovery to be a meaningful part of the spectrum of services and supports offered by the Oasis and by New York State. You know, we created the Certified Recovery Peer Advocate. We started funding programs that did recovery support services. We made sure insurance companies, Medicaid and private, had to pay for the services of peers. And I didn't dream that up. I learned it from just going around the state and talking to people in recovery who, A, wanted an opportunity for a career and something meaningful in their lives. And their ability, all of your ability to connect with people is extraordinary, especially initially. And it has saved lives. You know, that one of the frustrating things for me with COVID, we were making progress up to that point, and it threw everything out of kilter. We were seeing more people get into treatment, less overdoses, less overdose deaths. But as we know, addiction's a disease of isolation, and this has just fed that beast. So I can't wait until we're all able to actually get back together in larger groups. In the meantime, I'm glad to hear that Second Chance is going to open up in a safe way. That's what a lot of folks are doing. I'm proud of the field too, because I was at Oasis for the first month of COVID-19 before I left. And the programs were essential healthcare facilities. So they've stayed open throughout all of this to some pretty staggering consequences. You know, they kept people alive, but then certain, you know, I mean, staff and programs passed because of COVID, because we weren't, you know, where we needed to be. And we can't ever forget that. And it's still happening on some level, but services stayed open. I look forward to it, you know, getting back to the way it was. I will tell you, that we're very motivated at the federal level. That, you know, recovery has to, you can't just say recovery matters and then not put your actions with your words. It matters when you show it matters, and or it doesn't. And I'm not big on words that aren't followed by action, because the other thing about folks in recovery, they've got tremendous bullshit meters. So, and they'll call you out, and that's okay. You deserve to be called out. So I'm still in Albany for the next number of months. President does not want people congregating in offices in Washington. But even when my family and I move down, I'm a New Yorker. This will be the first time I've not lived in the state of New York. But it's ingrained in me. It's who I am, it's where I come from. I've been taking bets with some of my colleagues that how quickly they'll get irritated when I put the New York story about something when we're talking about an issue in a meeting. But, you know, the thing you should understand is that while we have plenty of things to work on, to get better at in New York, nobody does the range and the scale of what New York does at all, not even close. So I want to use the New York story not to motivate, but to motivate and aggravate, and to get people to do what they should be doing. It's not rocket science. It's all about will, and it's about being willing to do it. One advantage I do have in Washington is I know what worked in New York. I know what's in the way in Washington for it being able to work better. And I know one of my skills, I think, is I'm good at quote unquote motivating people to do things, maybe when they don't want to do things. So none of that's going to change at all. So I, you know, I'm keeping my cell phone. I might not get back to people as quickly as I've done in the past, but I don't forget people. I don't forget. My mother would come out of her grave and take me out if I changed the way she raised me up. So keep doing what you're doing. I by the way, so even though I left Oasis, I stayed engaged because I just care about this stuff. And actually Steph, Kelly and Brian and I went and visited. They basically own the block. But that block, what that block means, right? That block is like, you come out of treatment, they'll help you find a place to live. They'll help you find a job. They'll help you do all the things you need to do so that you can then pay it forward yourselves. And so you can eventually move out of one of those places, find your own place, and someone comes behind you, but you're there to support that work. That's incredible work. That's the kind of stuff we ought to be supporting. I tried to do that at Oasis. I'm going to push for that kind of stuff. Know that a good number of the folks that I'm working with now in Washington are in recovery. And there's a whole big project. Michael Botticelli, who ran this office that I'm working in now under President Obama, in recovery himself. He's actually a New Yorker by birth. He likes to claim he's from Massachusetts, which is where he lives now, but he's actually from, he grew up in Rexford and went to Siena, which I remind him of every time I talk to him, but it's okay. He's from Massachusetts, but he started this recovery appointments project when President Biden was confirmed as the winner. And so they're trying to get people placed all throughout the federal government who are in recovery, not just in the agencies that work on addiction issues, but people who work on whatever issue it might be. You know, that when you have a seat at the table, like Kelly talked about, that's your opportunity for your voice to be heard and for things to happen as a result. So and I also think back, so I remember Bob Stuhlmaker, who helps the New York State Rotary organize an event. I think it was, I want to say 3.5 years ago. Peggy Bonneau and I went to Skidmore on a weekend and gave a presentation to leadership from around the state Rotaries about addiction and what was going on. And it got a lot of attention. I think Sue was already working on something, so I'm never going to take credit for that. But,
Well, actually, let me interrupt you for a second because you get full credit for it. I had just joined Rotary a month before that seminar. I went there, you spoke, and the district governor said, let's see what we can do to help people in recovery. And I've got a relative who's struggling and, you know, lived with me for a while. So I knew how difficult it was to get help. So I did some research, and that is why this has started, because you spoke at that event. So you get actually full credit for this. So thank you.
well, I'll take credit for putting it into your thought. Kelly can take and Michelle and the team can take the rest, because I just showed up and lost the last couple of years. So, but that's really an important thing, and I'll end it on that. Is like, you know, part of how we overcome this is by people realizing that addiction is just part of a person's life. It doesn't define them. It shouldn't define them one way or the other, by the way. But all of us being involved, and you know, so it was I was so thrilled we could speak, because it was a bunch of, the Rotaries are made up of people who want to do good things in their communities. And so I'm glad that it synced up and it happened. There's other great stuff going on as well, but that's part of it. The more people understand their obligation to other people in this country and to each other, and that's how things change. That's how things get better. My deputy, who's now the acting council at Oasis, Tricia, she's not on the call, but she and I used to fight, because I believe everybody at their core is good and they care and they want to help. And you see it all the time when, you know, look at what's going on now in Texas, right? The senator went to Mexico and a congresswoman from New York City raised $2 million, but that's a different conversation. But people care and people do good stuff. And so Stephanie's like cringing, so I should probably stop talking. So thank you all for having me, and thanks for doing this event. And it's amazing that you've raised that much money in 3 years. I do hope that next year it can be in person. I promise I'll come back. And I think you guys will knock it out of the park next year. So thank you for letting me jabber on for a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you. I am thrilled that you made it, and look forward to seeing you in person next January or February. Thank you. And one other thing I just wanted to mention is Kelly was interviewed this morning for Channel 13, so not quite sure what's going to make it on the air, but if anyone, you know, has a few minutes to watch the news tonight, we may be on it. That was all I had. I want to thank everybody for coming. I don't know if anyone else has anything to
I would just like to say, if possible, thank you to Sue for organizing this great event with Michelle. There were a lot of technical aspects to doing what was an in-person event totally online this time. So there were a lot of behind the scene conversations. So thank you to taking this event and making it great. You know, Rob said that Rotarians like to do good. That is absolutely what we like to do as Rotarians. This event came about because Sue had a passion and brought it to our club. Some of you who are on right now, you have a passion. How can Colonie-Guilderland Rotary help you? Come to our club, join us. We are happy to help you do good in the world. That's the end of my plug, but just to let you know, we are still meeting throughout COVID. We are waiting for the time to get back together to be in person as well. But if you would like to help us do more good, you are more than welcome to join us at Rotary. And if you're not local to us, Rotary is a worldwide organization. We can help you meet a Rotary club that is near you as well. Thank you all for coming today. Thank you to our panelists, to Kelly, Stephanie, Rob, Rudy, to Michelle, and to Sue. Congratulations to all of our teams, all of the winners, and to our silent auction bidders who were successful with their bids. Until next year, keep racing for recovery. Thank you.
Thank you.